They say everything happens for a reason. Can someone help me find the reason why? 'Cause how am I supposed to live without you? How am I supposed to say goodbye? Oh, I'd give anything to see your face, to ask you all about your day, or hear your footsteps coming down.
Here they come, yo. Here they come. Here they come, yo. Here they come. Hi. Oh, it's been so long since I've seen you guys. And let me tell you, and gals, let me tell you, I have missed you. I have missed you so much. But thank you to all my supporters who keep on supporting me, even in my absence. And thank you for all those prayers, because if you don't know, your girl's been going through a journey, but it's not about what we go through. It's about what happens while we're going through. But this continues to be a platform where real conversations. Now, before we get started with tonight's show, I need you to touch the notification bell. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And these are some of my opinions. I'm not saying that you have to follow anything that we talk about on our show is alleged, but we are here to have real conversations with real people just like you. Now, I'm going to give you a little time because this is a video you want to share, because this story not only hits close to home, but it's a story we've heard so many times. And this is the story about, thank you, miss you too. This is the story about Jaylin McKenzie. Now, if you have a son, if you have a brother, father, nephew, or even if they're just a friend, I need you to share this video right now, because guess what? It might be somebody else tomorrow, but it absolutely can be you. I mean, today, but it absolutely can be you tomorrow. Now, let me tell you, because tonight's special guest, I'm so honored to have her. I'm so honored that she had courage to tell her story. But it's not only her story, it's her son's story too, Jaylin McKenzie. Now, Ashley McKenzie Smith's son, Jalen, was a 20-year-old Atlanta native who was killed by Memphis police during a traffic stop on Friday, December 16, 2022. He was visiting his father and family in Memphis when he was killed. Ashley received a missed call from TBI Special Agent Mike Parsons on Saturday, December 17, 2022. When she returned the call, she was informed that her son had been involved in a police shooting and he was deceased. However, no one from TBI or MPD has provided any information to Ashley about her son's case, leaving her to turn to Google for answers. There are numerous discrepancies here in Jalen's case, and Ashley has been left with many unanswered questions. She has only spoken to MPD and TBI 3 times since the incident. And even when he visited Memphis in February 2000, when she visited Memphis in February 2023, she received no assistance. Every time she asked about her son's case, she is told it is under investigation. She has filed 3 open record requests, but all 3 have been denied by the city of Memphis. The autopsy report also revealed that Jalen had a TV remote in his pocket. Ashley and her family are seeking justice. Ashley and her family are seeking answers to so many questions, including why the car was pulled over and labeled suspicious. how the officers knew all the boys were armed in the dark, and why Jalen's coat was found by the car on the ground when he was wearing all black clothing and gray shoes. They also want to know why the gun was never mentioned as being recovered, why none of the other suspects were questioned or arrested, and why MPD lied about the initial traffic stop. Ashley is heartbroken and devastated by the loss of her son. She will never see him reach many important milestones in life, such as getting a driver's license, graduating from college, getting married, or even having children. She believes that MPD killed her son as if he was an animal and that they shot to kill, hitting every major organ. Jalen's siblings have also been robbed of the opportunity to get to know their big brother, who was their mentor, best friend, and confidant. Ashley is left broken and heartbroken, struggling to come to terms with the loss of her son. Tonight on this platform, I present to you Ashley McKenzie.
Wow.
Hi, Ashley.
Hey, Tiffany, it's kind of hard to come behind that. It's such a great entrance.
Well, that's just some
Uh,
of it, but we haven't gotten to your story in your words. That's just a little. But it's
it
been a lot,
is.
right?
Yeah, oh yeah. This
How
it's been
many
a
months?
journey. It's we're going on 6 months. We'll be 6 months this month, on the 16th. So
Yeah.
um it's a lot going on. I could just say. Um we have no answers to any of our questions. I feel like we've been pretty much left in the dark. Not really, we're not sure really what's going on. And we do know, if you watch verse 48 and all that, how they say all the evidence starts to disappear after a certain period of time.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my biggest fears, is that by the time we reach that part to where we can get that footage or get something, how much evidence will we still actually have?
Right.
So that was one of the reasons why we're pushing for this rally, and for them to release the video,
So we're
because
going to
we're
get to
losing time.
so we're going to get to the rally because that's why we're here too, not just for justice for Jalen, but also we have something that we need everybody to be involved in, even if you're going to be there or send your funds her way. Now, give me a recount of how that night went. The day, like, how did that call go? Because
Okay.
some people think that this can't happen to them, like I'm
Um,
invisible.
I was actually in my bed, probably scrolling through emails 9 times out of 10. Didn't even realize I missed the call, and then I saw that I missed one, and it had the area code 901. So I was like, "Oh, I need to let me call this number back, because it's not, my son hasn't called this morning, and his dad hasn't called, so I don't recognize the number. It's not saved in my phone. Let me call it back." I called it back, and a gentleman was on the phone, and he's questioning me, and I'm just like, "Well, why are you questioning me when you called my phone? Like, I'm,
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out what you want. You called me." So finally, as I'm agitated, a little irritated with the person, he finally comes out to say what comes out to say, "Well, hey, do you know Jalen McKenzie?" I said, "Yes, that's my son." And he was like, "Well, I am so sorry to tell you, but your son has been involved in a police involved shooting, and he's deceased." He literally had to say it more than once for me to comprehend it. And my husband had to get the phone, because it didn't stick. Like, I wasn't comprehending it at that time. Then once I started to comprehend it, I'm like in shock that they're having to call 911 because I can't breathe. And so, we getting ready to get on the highway. My husband calls. He says his name was Special Agent Mike Parsons. He gives them a call back, tell them that, we're getting ready to come. We're on our way. And then he says, "Hey, you don't need to come. It's nothing that you can do."
Mm.
So because we wasn't, there, he said pretty much, it's still active, that we wouldn't be able to do anything. There's no need to take the drive. So I said, well, when will I be able to identify my son's body then? And I was like, well, how do you know how do you know he's my son, Jalen? So Jalen did have his ID on him. So they were able to identify him like that, but he told me it would take probably toward the end of the week before we're able to come up to identify his body. Well, we didn't make it that far. So that was Saturday. Let's say Monday, his dad went to go see if he can identify the body. They told him no. I get a call 2 hours later saying that my son's body is ready for pickup, so he could be shipped to Georgia. So I'm just trying to understand, like, you wouldn't let my son's father identify his body, but then his body was ready to be picked up way sooner than you all said it was. So at this point, I'm like, I just got to get my son back to Georgia, and I'll figure out, what to do after that. So little did we know, you can't get a private autopsy done. I mean, you can. It just almost serves no purpose. But once they embalm your body, then you getting another autopsy is just almost a waste of time. And for you to cross state lines, that the body has to be embalmed. So, the plan was to get him back home, then be able to get him a private autopsy here, where I could trust people. I don't trust anybody in Memphis at this time. And so we wasn't able to do that. And actually, he was denied to view his body twice. The family went up there to identify his body twice.
Wow.
And they was denied. The very last time he went, I told him, I said, call me when you get there and let's video chat, because maybe they don't, maybe they want to hear from me, I don't know. So he calls me, gets there. He said, well, can you at least tell me how many times my son was shot? They said, nope. Well, can you tell me if he got shot in the head? Well, no, he didn't get shot in the head, but they did, like, her words were, they did lit him up. So he had multiple gunshots. This is coming from
a traffic
medical
stop.
examiner. So at that point, we don't know what to suspect till we get him here, and hopefully somebody could tell us something. So that's pretty much how everything started.
Now, when I told people that you were basically going to Google because nobody would answer your questions.
Yeah. I mean, so we knew nothing. When he called, he didn't even say that everything that we got from the story came literally from Google. So they never told us the car was suspicious. They never told us that it was a traffic stop. They never said any of those things. They never said nothing. All boys had on black or any of that. Got it from Google. And then I just started digging, that mommy mode started coming in. And when you listen to the story and look at what they're saying, it's just not adding up. So I get to digging.
Well, just by like hearing your story and different things, like I said, so many people don't think this could happen to them. And how rare, I know that you pretty much been on your son his whole life. So it's just like, if it can happen to her, it can happen to any of us, and we should see that every time. I mean, you have Breonna Taylor. We have so many examples. When do we stop having so many examples and we put our mouth, like all the actions behind our words? If you saying that you care about your skin color, you care about, black boys, male, masculine, whatever. If you care, you would do something. And this is a part of doing something, because I can't go out here and reach thousands of people, but my platform will, So we're going to take a break because that was a lot to unload. And plus, I have some sponsors and they deserve a little bit of my time. So hold on to your seats 1 second.
My name is Tiffany S. Carter. I'm the host of Tiffany Talks. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, but I'm sitting here in Kissimmee, Florida with Westgate Resort because guess what? I'm their partner. I am so grateful that I partner up with Westgate, where the gift that keeps on giving. You know where to get the free stuff. You know where to get the vacations. Share your time with Westgate, where we love to go on vacations. I don't work for cars, homes, or any of those things. I work for vacations. Come and join Tiffany Talks. But here at Westgate Resort, we welcome you where all the fun is happening, and you're invited. Let's vacation together. Click the link below.
Thank you so much for some of our sponsors. We thank you for the Westgate Resorts. If you are new to my channel and you subscribe and you share, holla at your girl Tiffany on Facebook at TiffanyS.Carter or on Instagram at TiffanyS_Carter, or you can hit me up on TikTok at Real Tiffany Talks, and I promise I have a gift for you from our sponsors, Westgate. Also, we have the cleaning advantage. And if you just say Tiffany Talks sent you, I'm pretty sure you'll get a discount there. Now, we also have Washington Tree Service. Those trees getting a little messy and they're getting a little tough. Don't let it tear down your house, where we make removing trees easy, from Washington Tree Service in Huntsville and surrounding areas. Now, back to our story, and thank you for all of our sponsors. Back to our story. And also, if you want to have a sponsorship on Tiffany Talk, if you want to advertise on Tiffany Talk, make sure you DM me, or make sure you send information at my email address. Well, I'll drop it in the comments, and guess what? We'll get you to going. And this is where you can market to real people in real time. Now, back to our story, because it was a lot to unpack for this first half. And for this second part, I just need for you to understand, what do we do next? Like, what is next? You know what happened. You know it's wrong. You know something happened here. What can you do at home? Like you, real people. Now, let me get Ashley back. Ashley.
Hi,
Now,
everybody.
thank you also for your courage, because I know it took a lot for you to come on this platform. You know, we didn't cry over the phone together. So we standing here like ain't nothing, like we know this is not how it been from us. I mean, this is something that we was gonna do back in February, but I had my own loss in my family, and we were just like, this might be a time to take a rest. But I knew you would be one of the first people on my platform, because not only do you deserve this space, but Jaylin deserves it as well. And we're going to finish telling his story. Now, you found out, if you just tuning in, Ashley has told us that how her son, his life was taken by MPD, shot several times for a traffic stop. Realized he had a remote control. You remember the Skittles? You remember that story? Trayvon Martin? A remote control in his pocket. Nobody would give her answers. But if we all help her out and share this video, we will get some answers. Tell us how we can help you, Ashley. Keep moving the movement, because even though Jalen is not here physically, his spirit and legacy should forever move on. So we're here to seek justice for his name, justice for his mom, and even if that's just like for a share. Now, Ashley, what are you doing currently, and where we can help you at?
Okay. So there's a couple of ways that you guys can help us. One, we have a rally going on in Memphis, Tennessee on Saturday, this Saturday, June 10th. It will start at 1:30 at Mount Moriah Police Precinct, and then it will go to 6 p.m. At American Way Park. So it starts at the police precinct and then will end at the park. The park is the area that he died on Cochise, but the park is like right across the street. And that's part of the crash site of where the boys actually crashed over in the park. And the reason that we're doing it like that is because we want everybody to have the emotional feeling of understanding what those four boys endured, and what they felt when their lives were almost taken up under them. I mean, taken from them. We have three boys that are still alive, and we have one, my son, that's deceased. And those three boys, they're traumatized as well. And those families are. So please, if you're in Memphis area or if you can drive up, come to the rally. We also have a GoFundMe page. I think, Tiffany, you're
Yeah,
gonna.
I'll put that in the comments.
Okay. What else? And then just sharing his story, just getting his story out. If you could just post it, post a picture of him, post a little bit. The 20-year-old, I use the caption, the 20-year-old killed by Memphis police in a traffic stop. Like that's what we've been using. Hashtag justice for Jaylin McKenzie. All of those is how we're going to be able to get his name and get his story out there. I do want to add that there are about 9 people that were killed by Memphis Police Department from around October, November to Tyree. So this is like a national call of action. It's not just my son. We're losing as a community if we sit back and just watch these young men, boys, fathers, and I mean the police is even taking women too. So it's not just one,
Mm-hmm.
gender. We have to stop this in our community. They're coming to our community. They're taking our loved ones. And it takes all of us. We have to get up and we have to speak out. We got to
Yes.
make them stop, or we won't have any grandkids. Nobody will have nobody will have grandkids. Nobody will have there will not be a generation of African American children if we do not stop what's going on now. They have a target on their back.
Mm. You said something deep there. You said we will not have grandchildren. It's so many men, especially black men, that are victims of violence. Regardless if it's black on black violence, police violence, it's an epidemic in our communities. And
Exactly.
it's like, what are we going to do about it? Are we just going to succumb, become numb, or are we going to fight? Fight like, just fight. But I thank you, Ashley, for getting on my platform to share this story, because not one of us know when this could be our story. So if you have not shared this video with someone, even take precautions. And it's sad that I say we have to take precautions and we have to talk to our children in a way that we have to talk to our children, but it is a fact in 2023, right? So we're having these conversations because something is going wrong. The communication is not there. Our kids are dying at a rate that I've never seen. Young men, young women. So I hope that if you're in the Memphis area, you would take the time to join Ashley and her family and her friends and his friends. And me, I'll be on site to rally justice for Jalen, because he deserves that. We're the only voice that he has. He has no voice, but he does have a voice forever through us. Thank you so much. And do you have anything else to say, Ashley?
I do. I just want to add to, and this is more politics. Be careful who you put in office, because a lot of times, if you're not really paying attention to people's agenda, then you're going to put the wrong person in office, because the chief of police that is there in Memphis was the chief of police here in Atlanta at one time and ran the Red Dogs. So,
and we know how that went, right?
yeah, we know that was real ugly, real ugly for
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta. And a lot of times your mayors have a lot to do with those police chiefs. And so be very careful. We have to get out and vote, and we have to be careful who we're voting for, who we putting in office, because they have a lot to do with what happens to the next generation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for spending some time with me to share your story. This won't be the last time on my platform that you hear about. You might as well keep saying his name because we're going to say it a lot.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for your perseverance. Thank you for still being here and holding on to give a positive back to the community from what you went through. Mm-hmm. It was like you was the sacrifice for you to be able to have a voice. You can't tell a story unless you have one, right?
That's right.
And I know this is just a part of your story, but God has so much in store for you, actually. I strongly believe that. And I ask that God continues to heal your heart. And this is just part of the walk, but this ain't the walk, right?
Yep. We're just getting started. We don't know where we're going yet, but we know that there's already a plan. It's already a plan ahead. We're just walking it.
Thank you so much for coming. This is my long-term friend, her childhood. But whenever our children, whatever one hurt, everybody should be hurting. We carry the burdens of our brothers and sisters, and I strongly believe in that. So may God continue to bless you, bless this journey, protect you, and keep you. And anytime on here, thank you for having a real conversation with me.
You're welcome.
Well, you're not going to see me. You're going to see me next week. Okay. But thank you so much for your continued support for Tiffany Talks. I started this platform because I wanted to hear real stories from real people. I wanted to encourage somebody, but also state what's really happening in today's society and don't miss it. Some people might be numb to it, but I would never get used to a child's life getting taken, a young person by violence. It's something that I'm not going to conform to, and it's something that I'm not going to get used to. So if my platform is somewhere where you want to share your real story, I say, hit me up. Tell me about your story, and you could be next on Tiffany Talks. Well, I would like to stay all day because I really, really missed everybody. But thank you again. Have a blessed night. And if you're in the Memphis area, please come by the park and rally Justice for Jaylin. Prayers for his mom. And thank you so much for your support on this platform. Now, you all know, say it with me. Hold on. This is your girl, Tiffany S. Carter, and this is Tiffany Talks, where real conversations are happening and you are absolutely a part of the conversation. I'll see y'all Monday, okay? For Jerry Mitchell of the Black Chamber of Commerce. He's up next.
They say everything happens for a reason. Can someone help me find the reason why? 'Cause how am I supposed to live without you? How am I supposed to say goodbye? Oh, I'd give anything to see your face, to ask you all about your day, or hear your footsteps coming down.